The cold vacuum of space stretched endlessly around the sleek alien scout ship, a slender needle of dark metal gliding silently just beyond the edge of Earth's atmosphere. Inside, the ship's crew moved with calculated precision, their pale, translucent skin glowing faintly under the dim red lights of the bridge. They called themselves the Valarian ancient species, whose technology far surpassed humanity's, yet who still approached Earth with cautious curiosity. Captain Saric stood rigid at the helm, eyes fixed on the swirling blue planet below. Scan all frequencies. I want any sign of human military response. We must determine their capabilities before we engage further, he ordered. The ship's sensor officer, Lycia, tapped furiously on the console. No signs of large-scale defenses. Minimal radio chatter, primitive communications systems. They seem technologically limited, but there is something unusual. Saric's sharp eyes narrowed. What unusual? Intermittent bursts of encrypted signals, Lycia replied. Likely tactical chatter between their orbital defense, drones, and ground stations. They are hiding something. Saric frowned. Hiding or preparing? We must proceed carefully. The data we've collected suggests their weapons are crude, but abundant. This species relies on brute force. The Valari had heard stories from other star systems, stales of humanity's unpredictable tenacity and ferocity, but they had dismissed them as myth, exaggeration born of fear. Now, as they hovered above Earth, Saric felt a flicker of doubt. Commander, Lycia suddenly called out, "There's a faint signal, something moving fast, low orbit." Saric's gaze snapped to the display. A tiny blip flashed rapidly toward the scout ship. Hostile? He asked. Unknown, Lycia answered, but closing quickly. Before Saric could order an evasive maneuver, a sudden pulse radiated from the approaching object. The ship's stealth field shimmered, then collapsed in a burst of flickering. "Light shields up," Saric shouted. Outside, in the blackness, the alien ship was suddenly exposed. A gleaming silhouette against Earth's glow. "Contact identified," Lycia whispered, horror creeping into her voice. "It's one of their defense drones. Unmanned, but armed." Saric's mouth tightened. A warning shot. The drone fired again, precise laser blasts slicing into the alien ship's outer hull. Sparks erupted. The Valari scrambled to respond, but the drone vanished into the darkness as quickly as it had appeared. "Damage report." Saric barked. "Minor hull breaches on port side, but no critical systems compromised," the engineer replied. "We're still operational, but this species is more aggressive than we assumed." Saric's heart raced beneath his cool exterior. The humans were not the weak, docile creatures his people had expected. They were hunters. "Plot a course away from Earth orbit," Saric commanded. "We need to regroup and reassess. Notify High Command." As the ship banked away, Lycia studied the tactical readouts. "Captain, their defense systems operate in a decentralized fashion. No central command detected. They are networked, but fiercely independent." Saric's lips curled into a grim smile. Independent and relentless. This will not be an easy conquest. Below, on Earth's surface, the night was shattered by sudden alerts across military outposts worldwide. At a remote base on the edge of the Nevada desert, Captain Rachel Trent stared at her screen in disbelief. "What the hell was that?" she muttered, eyes scanning the data feed. The drone's automated defense system had detected an unidentified object cloaked in orbit until it fired, revealing the alien ship. Her hands flew over the controls, ordering an immediate lockdown and alerting Central Command. "This isn't a drill," she said grimly. "We're being watched, and they're testing us." Back aboard the alien ship, the crew was silent, tension thick in the recycled air. The unexpected resistance had shattered their confidence. Sarek turned to his officers. "We underestimated the humans, but we will not fail. Prepare the strike team. At first light, we make a show of force. They must understand this is their only warning." But Captain Lissa protested. "We don't know what they are capable of in full battle. Our scouts have never faced such ferocity. And that is why we strike Nalby, for they can organize," Sarek said coldly. "We will remind them why the Valari are feared across galaxies." As the alien ship vanished into the shadows of space, Earth's defenses scrambled to prepare for what would come. Unseen beneath the surface, millions of human hearts beat with a mixture of fear and fierce determination. The message was clear even in these first moments. Humanity would not go quietly, and the Valari would soon learn why. Asterisk, the crimson dust, swirled in low gravity as the Martian colony's alert klaxons blared through the sterile corridors. Captain Rachel Trent's voice crackled over the comms, steady but sharp. "All personnel to defensive positions. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill." In the barren expanse of Mars's Vallis Marineris, the colony New Horizon had been humanity's hopeful outpost, a fragile foothold on the red planet. But now, that hope was under siege. From the dark void above, sleek alien fighters detached from a massive mothership hidden in orbit. Their sleek, insect-like shapes glinted coldly in the thin sunlight, descending swiftly with deadly intent. The Valari had come to test humanity's resolve, deliver a swift blow. Lieutenant Marcus Hayes tightened his grip on the plasma rifle. As he peered out from behind the metallic barricades hastily erected around the habitat domes. "They think this will be easy," he muttered. "They have no idea what they're up against." Inside the command center, Rachel's eyes darted between sensor feeds, tracking the alien attackers' movements. The Valari advanced with clinical precision, deploying energy pulses that could cut through steel like paper. But the humans had something the aliens didn't anticipate: desperation and grit. The first wave hit the outer perimeter with a brutal strike. Energy blasts carved craters into the Martian soil. Glass shattered, alarms screamed. But the defenders held their ground. Private Jenna Morales ducked behind a shattered supply crate, then sprung forward, tossing an improvised incendiary grenade, crafted from a mix of mining explosives and fuel cells. The explosion rocked the air, and several alien drones faltered, their metallic limbs twitching before collapsing. "Good shot," Marcus called out, firing a burst that tore through an advancing drone sensor array. But the aliens quickly adapted. They deployed spider-like walkers, machines with razor-sharp legs that clattered over rocks and sand, hunting human soldiers with chilling efficiency. Several defenders fell to the walkers' blades. Rachel's voice cut through the chaos. "Fall back to secondary positions. Use the tunnels if you have to." In the labyrinth of narrow tunnels beneath the colony, the battle transformed. The aliens' technological superiority was blunted by the claustrophobic terrain. Humans fought, hand to hand, wielding whatever weapons they could: mining picks, heavy tools, even bare fists. Marcus found himself face to face with a Valari warrior. The alien's glowing eyes locked onto his. It lunged with inhuman speed, but Marcus sidestepped, smashing a crowbar into the alien's head with a sickening crack. The creature stumbled, then collapsed. Nearby, Jenna fought off two more with A hastily jury-rigged shock baton. They don't give up, she gasped, wiping blood from her brow. Neither do we, Marcus growled. RELOADING. The battle raged for hours. The humans were outgunned and outnumbered, but their tenacity burned. Fiercely, every lost meter was paid for in alien bodies and human blood alike. On the alien mothership orbiting Mars, Captain Sarek watched the live feeds with growing frustration. Why do they fight like cornered beasts? Our scans show their weapons are inferior, their tactics primitive. Lashar's eyes were hard. Because they have something we do not. A refusal to surrender. They adapt, improvise, and fight with reckless courage. Sarek slammed his fist against the console. This was meant to be a warning strike. A demonstration of our power. Instead, it's become a costly skirmish. Perhaps we underestimated them, Lissa said quietly. Underestimation is a luxury we cannot afford, Sarek growled. Send reinforcements. Crush this resistance before it spreads. Back. On the surface, Rachel received the orders. Reinforcements or not, New Horizon was a powder keg ready to explode. We don't have time, she said into the cum. If they break through, Earth will be next. A desperate plan formed in her mind, a last stand to buy time for evacuation. And reinforcements. Prepare the magnetic pulse devices, she ordered. If we can disrupt their walkers and drones, we can turn the tide. Marcus nodded, rallying the troops. This is our home. If they want it, they'll have to take it from us dead or alive. The final assault began under the eerie red sky. Pulses of magnetic energy erupted from hidden devices, scrambling alien electronics. Walkers faltered, drones crashed from the sky. The humans surged forward, brutal and unyielding. Each victory was hard won, each step soaked in sacrifice. As dawn approached, the aliens finally withdrew, leaving behind shattered machines and the bodies of the fallen, both human and Valari. Rachel stood among the rubble, her breath heavy, eyes burning with resolve. They thought they could scare us, she said. They were wrong. Across the galaxy, a single message began to spread, one born in the bloody dust of Mars. Never attack humans. You won't survive the response. The hum of servers filled the underground bunker beneath New York City, a hidden digital fortress where Earth's best hackers and intelligence officers worked in tandem. Amidst the flickering monitors and tangled cables, a single figure sat, illuminated by the cold glow of a screen. Mara Lin, a former cyber warfare specialist, turned rogue vigilante. Her fingers danced over the keyboard, eyes sharp and scanning through mountains of alien data intercepted from Valari communications. For weeks, Earth had been decoding fragments of the alien transmissions, fragmented, encrypted, but telling a story of invasion and conquest. Then she found it, a classified file buried deep within the Valaria's main communication stream. A chilling message, a warning from the aliens themselves. Never attack humans, you won't survive the response. Mara blinked, rereading the phrase. Not a threat, not a boast, a grim statement, born of hard-earned fear. Whoever had sent this message had already faced humanity's wrath, and survived to warn others. She knew what she had to do. Bypassing security protocols was child's play for Mara. In minutes, she had hijacked every major global broadcast channel, satellite uplinks, and digital networks. The message was sent out loud, clear, unfiltered. Attention all sentient beings across the galaxy. This is Earth. We have intercepted your warnings. We hear your fear. But know this, humanity is not to be underestimated. Attack us at your own peril. The broadcast was raw, unpolished, but its impact was immediate. Across Earth, millions stared at their screens in stunned silence. The government scrambled to regain control, but the message had already spread like wildfire on alien worlds. Diplomats and soldiers alike received the warning and exchanged uneasy glances in the Valari High Command's war chamber. The air was thick with tension. Captain Sarek stood before the council, rage barely contained beneath his composed exterior. How did they intercept our communications? He demanded. Some kind of hacker, one officer muttered. A human rogue. They are more dangerous. Then we realized. Council leader Velka banged a fist on the table. This broadcast undermines our authority. It threatens to incite panic and rebellion among our allies. Sarek stepped forward, voice low and fierce. It also reveals the truth we hoped to hide. Humans are not a simple conquest. They are a force of nature. Back on Earth, Mara watched the chaos unfold. She knew her actions could ignite galactic war, but she also knew hiding the truth was no longer an option at the United Earth Council. Leaders gathered in emergency session. President Alina Morales addressed the assembly, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. The message sent by one of our own has shaken the galaxy. We must now prepare for what comes next. Diplomacy or war. Humanity must stand united. In the weeks that followed, Earth became a fortress of innovation and resolve. Scientists and engineers worked around the clock to develop new defenses, while military strategists re-examined every possible threat. Meanwhile, alien envoys began arriving in orbit, some seeking peace, others reconnaissance cloaked in diplomacy. Each encounter tested humanity's patience and strength. Rachel Trent, newly promoted to Earth's Interstellar Defense Command, prepared her teams for the inevitable. The scars of Mars still burned fresh in her mind. Let them come, she said, voice grim but resolute. We've sent the warning. Now we prove it. The galaxy had heard humanity's voice, loud and clear. The question remained, would they heed the warning or challenge it? Asterisk, the Grand Chamber of the United Earth Council was a testament to humanity's hard-won unity. Once divided by politics, borders, and ideology, the nations of Earth now gathered under a single banner to face a threat unlike any before. Flags from every continent hung side by side, a symbol of a species forced to confront its survival. At the center stood President Alina Morales, her gaze steady as she addressed the assembly. The Valari have sent us a warning, one that chills and commands respect. We are no longer isolated. The galaxy watches us. It judges us. Whispers rippled through the chamber. Some saw the warning as a chance for peace, others as a declaration of war. Yet all agreed on one thing. Humanity had to be ready. In a secure conference room, Rachel Trent sat across from a diverse group of military and scientific leaders. Maps of star systems and satellite images glowed on holoscreens around them. We can't afford half measures, Rachel said, voice firm. Mars was a wake-up call. We're outmatched in technology, but not in spirit. We need a new approach. Dr. Anil Kumar, chief scientist of the Earth Defense Initiative, nodded. We've been reverse engineering the alien tech captured from the Mars skirmish. If we can integrate it with our own systems, we might leapfrog their advantage. A murmur of approval spread. Rachel continued, and we must unify our forces. No more separate armies divided by old rivalries. We need a single, integrated command. A young officer, Lieutenant Commander Maya Zheng, leaned forward. The Valari underestimate us because they see our disunity. Once we act as one, we become unpredictable. President Morales joined the discussion, her presence commanding. This council will establish the Earth Unified Defense Command. Rachel Trent will lead the ground forces. Maya Zheng, you will oversee space operations. Anil Kumar, you will head the technology task force. The weight of responsibility settled on the room. The clock was ticking. Days turned into weeks as Earth mobilized. The skies above the planet buzzed with newly launched satellites and defense platforms. Factories converted to produce advanced weaponry, fusing human innovation with alien designs. Rachel trained soldiers in tactics that blended guerrilla warfare with high-tech precision. Adaptability is our greatest weapon, she told them. The Valari rely on superiority and control. We will disrupt that. Maya Zheng coordinated orbital defenses, directing squadrons of fighter pilots and autonomous drones. Her calm voice crackled over comes during simulated battles, a steady anchor amid chaos. Anil Kumar's labs hummed with activity as his team worked tirelessly on energy shields, plasma rifles, and experimental EMP devices designed to disable alien electronics. Amid the preparations, Rachel found moments to reflect. She remembered the brutal fighting on Mars, the friends lost, the courage tested. The cost had been high, but so was humanity's will to survive. One evening, in the command center overlooking Earth, Rachel and Maya stood side by side, watching the stars. "We're ready," Maya said quietly. "But are they?" Rachel's eyes narrowed. "They don't know what humans are capable of yet. That's their mistake." Suddenly, the room's alert systems blared. A new signal appeared on the scanners. Unidentified. Fleet moving rapidly through the outer system. Maya's voice was steady but tense. "Valari ships. They're coming." Rachel clenched her fists. "Then it's time to show them what happens when you threaten Earth." Outside, humanity's forces prepared for their first real test of unity and strength. The Valari expected chaos, division, and quick victory. Instead, they would face a planet forged by adversity, united in purpose, and ready to fight back with everything they had. The war for humanity's future had begun. The distant stars streaked past the viewport as the Earth Unified Defense Command's flagship, Thala, raced through the cold void toward the Valari home system. Inside the command bridge, the hum of controlled chaos filled the air pilots coordinated. Fighter squadrons, engineers monitored weapon systems, and tacticians calculated every possible move. Commander Maya Zheng stood at the center, her sharp eyes scanning tactical displays. Beside her, Captain Rachel Trent checked her plasma rifle, the weight of their mission pressing heavy on her shoulders. "This is it," Maya said quietly. "If we succeed here, we cripple the Valari fleet and their command infrastructure. We cut off their head." Rachel nodded. "The last attack on Mars taught us their strength, their limits. This time, we hit them where it hurts." The Valari home system was a fortress. Massive orbital defense platforms bristled with weaponry, while swarms of fighters patrolled the dark corridors between planets. The humans faced impossible odds, but their advantage lay in unpredictability and courage. The plan was daring. A multi-pronged assault with coordinated strikes, designed to overwhelm the enemy's defenses. Fighter squadrons Alpha and Beta take the outer platforms, disrupt their shields and draw fire. Maya commanded. "Ground Assault Team Bravo, you're with me. We're going after the command center. Rachel's squad assembled in the drop bay, battle-hardened veterans and fresh recruits alike. Faces were tense but determined. Remember, Rachel said, locking eyes with each soldier, this is not just a mission. It's a message. We're here to show them humans don't back down. The assault ships launched in a roar, piercing the blackness with a trail of fire. Fighter squadrons engaged immediately. Laser blasts lit the void as Alpha and Beta danced through the enemy ranks, their maneuvers unpredictable and chaotic. Valari fighters, accustomed to control and precision, faltered against human improvisation. Meanwhile, Rachel's ground team deployed on the Valari command station orbiting the system's central star. The station was a sprawling labyrinth of corridors and control rooms, defended by automated turrets and elite alien soldiers. Move fast, Rachel urged, leading the team through narrow passageways. Their command center holds the core processors. Take them out, and we cripple their fleet's coordination. The team faced brutal resistance. Alien soldiers fought with brutal efficiency, but the humans countered with guerrilla tactics, ambushes, improvised explosives, and sheer ferocity. In one fierce firefight, Marcus Hayes, a veteran from Mars, was pinned down. Rachel and 2 others rushed to his aid, suppressing the enemy fire long enough for him to regroup and return fire. Keep moving, Rachel shouted. We're close. Reaching the core chamber, the team encountered the Valari Command AIN. Immense holographic interface pulsating with energy. Disabling it required both skill and speed. Anil Kumar's tech specialist, Ravi Patel, quickly interfaced with the system, his fingers flying over the alien console. We're hacking in, Ravi said, sweat beading on his brow. But their firewall is adaptive. I need time. Outside, alarms blare. Valari reinforcements swarmed the station, desperate to protect their command center. Cover him, Rachel ordered, taking a defensive position as her squad fought back wave after wave of attackers. Minutes stretched into eternity, finally. The command AI flickered, then died, darkness enveloping the control room. We did it, Ravi gasped, slumping back. Back in space, the impact was immediate. Without centralized command, the Valari fleet's coordination collapsed. Fighter squadrons became disorganized. Defense platforms shut down as systems failed. Maya's voice crackled over comms, triumphant. Command station is down. All units, press the advantage. The Valar led the charge, its plasma cannons unleashing devastating firepower on the disoriented enemy. As the battle raged, Rachel stood on the bridge of the Valar, watching the chaos unfold with fierce satisfaction. We've broken their backbone, she said quietly. Maya smiled and sent a message they won't forget. But victory came at a cost. The Valari retaliated with a desperate counterattack, targeting the Earth fleet's supply lines and communication arrays. Explosions rocked the Valar, and emergency alarms wailed. Rachel braced herself as a nearby missile streaked past, narrowly missing the command deck. Damage report, Maya demanded. Shields holding but critical systems offline. We're losing. Propulsion in Section 3, the engineer reported. Rachel clenched her fists. Hold the line. We've come too far to lose now. The battle for the Valari home system was far from over, but humanity had proven something vital. When cornered, they struck back harder. Their unpredictability and unyielding spirit had shattered. The invaders' confident sand begun to turn the tide as the dust settled. Rachel and Maya prepared for the next phase of the war. The message was clear: attack humans, and you invite devastation. The victory in the Valari home system had sent shockwaves through the galaxy, but it had also painted a target on Earth and its forces. The human fleet limped home, battered but unbroken. Yet the war was far from over. On board the Valar, the atmosphere was tense. Repairs were underway, but the cost weighed heavily on every crew member. The hum of machines mingled with the quiet grief of lost comrades. Rachel Trent sat alone in the dimly lit infirmary, her gaze fixed on the small photo of her squad before the Mars campaign. Each face a reminder of sacrifice, of friends she might never see again. A soft knock broke the silence. Maya Jong stepped inside, her expression unreadable. "We can't afford to dwell on losses," Maya said quietly. "The Valari are regrouping, and they're coming for us." Rachel looked up, eyes steely. "Then we'll be ready." Meanwhile, deep within Valari space, Council Leader Velkar paced before a holographic map, fury burning in his eyes. "They dared to strike our command." "Center," he hissed. "They shattered our fleet's coordination. Now we retaliate swift, brutal, and without mercy." General Kale, Valera's fiercest warrior, knelt respectfully. "We've identified their key supply lines. Targeting those will cripple their ability to sustain the war." Velka nodded. "Prepare the Shadow Fleet. Let Earth feel the price of defiance." Back on Earth, intelligence reports warned of an incoming Valari offensive like anything seen before. Rather than direct assaults, the enemy unleashed stealth ships and sabotage teams, striking deep into Earth's infrastructure. In the sprawling metropolis of New Shanghai, an explosion ripped through a critical power grid, plunging millions into darkness. Dr. Rachel Trent coordinated emergency response teams from her command post. "This is just the beginning," she said grimly. "They want to break us from within." In the shadows, Valari operatives moved like ghosts, infiltrating communication hubs, disabling satellites, and sowing chaos. Lieutenant Marcus Hayes led a rapid response unit tasked with hunting these saboteurs. "Keep your eyes open," Marcus warned his team. "They're skilled and ruthless." During a tense raid on an underground facility, Marcus faced a Valari assassin in close combat. The fight was brutal and swift human grit against alien precision. Marcus emerged victorious but shaken. "They won't stop," he muttered. "We have to be better." Back aboard the Valar, Rachel and Maya strategized. "We can't just defend," Rachel said. "We need to find their bases, disrupt their supply chains." Maya nodded, agreed. "But it means sending teams deep into enemy territory. High risk, high reward." Anil Kumar, monitoring tech feeds, interjected. "Our scientists have developed stealth tech based on Valari designs. It could give us an edge." Rachel smiled faintly. "Then let's turn their own shadows against them." As Earth braced for the next wave, the war became a deadly chess game of strikes and counterstrikes. Every victory was paid for in blood. Every step forward met with fierce resistance. But humanity's spirit burned brighter than ever. In a quiet moment, Rachel looked out at the stars. "We're no longer the hunted," she whispered. "We're the storm." The war had carved scars deep into Earth's surface and soul. Cities bore the marks of sabotage, supply lines teetered on collapse, and the human fleet was stretched thinner than ever. Yet, within the storm, a fierce resolve glimmered. "Commander." Maya Jong stood on the bridge of the Valar, eyes fixed on a shimmering star map. Intelligence had revealed the location of a Valari forward base deep in the Epsilon. Eridani Sistema Hub for their stealth operations and supply routes. This strike could change everything. Maya said to Rachel, who stood beside her, fingers tapping rhythmically on the railing dot. Rachel nodded. Disrupt their supply, cripple their shadows. It's time we take the fight to them. The assault force assembled with grim determination. Humans clad in adaptive stealth suits, piloting sleek ships designed for covert operations, prepared to slip behind enemy lines. Lieutenant Marcus Hayes led one of the ground teams. His face bore the fatigue of countless battles, but shone with relentless determination. We've learned their tactics, Marcus told his team. They think they can hide in the shadows, but shadows need light to exist. The insertion was surgical. The humans slipped through Valari patrols, bypassing sensors with advanced tech. The forward baser, sprawling asteroid installation loomed ahead, cloaked in darkness. Inside, Valari engineers worked frantically to repair damaged systems. The sudden alarm was their first warning. Contact, Marcus whispered into his "Come. Morvi, fast." The battle erupted in the cramped tunnels of the asteroid. Humans struck with precision, disabling weapon arrays and capturing key terminals in one intense firefight. Rachel led a squad to the central power core. Alien soldiers poured in, their blades flashing in the dim light. Rachel's voice rang clear. "Hold the line. We're not leaving without that core." Bullets and plasma clashed. The ground shook as explosives detonated, shattering sections of the station. Amid the chaos, Rachel faced a Valari commander, towering figure radiating cold fury. "You fight." "Well, human," the commander hissed, "but you cannot win." Rachel smirked through the smoke. "We already have." With a fierce charge, she brought down the commander, sending the Valari reeling. Outside, Maya coordinated orbital strikes, targeting reinforcements attempting to reach the base. The base's destruction sent ripples through the Valari network. Without their forward hub, their stealth operations faltered. Back on Earth, news of the victory sparked hope. Citizens rallied, soldiers found renewed vigor, and the United Earth Council declared the operation a turning point. President Elena Morales addressed the world today. Humanity showed that even against the darkest odds, we rise. This is not just a battle for survival, it is a battle for our future. Yet victory bred its own challenges. Valari reprisals grew fiercer, targeting civilian populations and key infrastructure. The war was no longer confined to battlefields. It had seeped into the daily lives of every human. Rachel received reports of attacks on Martian colonies, Earth's orbital stations, and vital transport routes. "We've broken their shadows," she told Maya, "but now they fight with desperation." Maya's eyes hardened. "Then we fight smarter, faster, harder." In the quiet moments between battles, Rachel found herself reflecting on the cost. Marcus approached her quietly. "We've lost too many," he said, "but every step forward is a tribute to them." Rachel nodded, eyes misting. "We fight not just to survive, but to honor those who gave everything." The war was far from over, but humanity had shifted the tide. From the ashes of destruction rose a new dawn, one forged by courage, unity, and unyielding spirit. As the Valar prepared for the next mission, Rachel's voice echoed through the command deck. "Let them come, we're ready." The final battle loomed on the edge of human spacer. Massive Valari fleet, regrouped and furious, had gathered in the Perseus sector. It was their last, desperate attempt to crush Earth's resistance and restore control over the galaxy. The Valar, Commander Maya Jong, paced the bridge, her mind sharp, every sense alert. Around her, the Earth Unified Defense Command prepared for the confrontation that could decide the fate of humanity. Rachel Trent stood beside her, battle-worn but unyielding. "This is it," Rachel said quietly. "The moment they said would. Never come humans, standing as equals in the galaxy." Maya nodded. "We fight not just for survival, but to make sure they never forget us again." The Valari fleet emerged from the darkness like a tidal wave of destruction. Thousands of sleek warships, bristling with weapons, moved with lethal precision. The human fleet responded in kind. Fighters surged forward, plasma cannons blazed, and the void echoed with the roar of engines and explosions. Maya's voice commanded over the chaos. "Alpha and Beta squadrons, focus on breaking their formations. Gamma, Delta, protect the Valar. We hold the line." In the heart of the battle, Rachel led a strike team in the Falcon, a fast assault ship equipped with the latest stealth tech. Their mission: infiltrate the Valari command, cruiser and disable its core systems. The cruiser's defenses were formidable. Point defense lasers lit the void, and swarms of drones swirled like angry hornets. Rachel's voice was steady as she guided her pilots. "Stay tight. Avoid detection. We move in fast and hit hard." As they breached the cruiser's outer hull, alarms blared. Valari soldiers flooded the corridors, ready to repel the intruders. Inside, Rachel's team fought fiercely close quarters, every shot and strike a matter of life and death. The cruiser's core pulsed with energy, a glowing orb at its center. Ravi Patel, the tech specialist, interfaced with the core's controls, sweat dripping as he worked. Almost there, just a few more seconds. ... Outside, the space battle raged with relentless fury. Maya's fleet absorbed blow after blow, retaliating with calculated precision. Suddenly, the cruiser's energy flickered, its shields failing. "Core breach," Ravi shouted. Rachel nodded sharply. "Everyone out. Now." The Falcon rockets away as the cruiser erupts in a cascade of fire and debris. The shockwave rippling through the enemy fleet. The destruction of the Valari command cruiser shattered their coordination. Ships faltered, formations broke apart, and the tide of battle turned. President Morales' voice echoed through every communication channel. "Today, humanity has proven its strength, its unity, and its unbreakable will. The galaxy will never forget this moment." But the victory came with a heavy price. The Valor was severely damaged. Many heroes had fallen, including Marcus Hayes, who died saving his squad during the assault. Rachel stood on the deck, clutching Marcus's dog tags, voice thick with emotion. "We carry them with us in every fight, every step forward." As the remnants of the Valari fleet retreated into the darkness, a new reality dawned. Diplomats from multiple alien civilizations requested parley with Earth's leaders. The galaxy, once fractured by fear and arrogance, began to see humanity as a force of reckoning, a species forged in fire and bound by resilience. Months later, on the rebuilt Valar, Rachel and Maya stood side by side, watching Earth's blue glow in the distance. "We sent a warning," Rachel said softly, "and they heard it." Maya replied, "A new era was beginning, one where humanity was no longer prey but predator, a beacon of hope and a warning to those who dared threaten them. The stars held endless challenges, but Earth's people were ready, because humanity's response was never just survival, it was reckoning, the end."